What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you the biggest squat tip that you're probably making because it is widely taught by personal trainers why to fix it and how to fix it so that you start getting more out of your squats. Like I said, today's video is going to be all about one simple squat mistake that I see made all the time at the gym. I see this when guys are squatting, I see it when girls are squatting. I've even heard of personal trainers telling their clients to do this. And I think the reason that personal trainers say this is there's good intention behind it. It's to help them avoid maybe knee injuries or just knee pain from all your weight going forward during your squat. But this is something that needs to be heard and something that needs to be fixed immediately the next time you go to squat, and it might even help you squat a little bit more weight. Now, before I get into it, I will say if you are trying to get stronger and you are trying to learn a couple of tips that are going to help you to build strength faster, to lose weight faster, to build muscle faster, whatever it is that your specific goal is, you have to understand what your body type is. There's three main body types. You have your hard gainer, you have the ectomorph, the mesomorph, which is more of like an athletic type build, and then an endomorph, which is typically just a heavier set person. And all these people have different goals, and depending on what your goal is, you have to do specific things. If you want help figuring out what you need to do for your specific goal, I have a free body type quiz right below this video in the description. All you got to do is click the link, take the quiz, and watch the video at the end. Depending on what you answer in that quiz, I tell you exactly what you need to do diet and training wise to really get in shape fast. So check that out if you're wanting some help with getting in shape. But if you're just looking for the squat tip that I'm talking about, let's get into it. All right, so grabbing a bar here, I'm just gonna do a regular back squat. I want you to see if you see anything wrong. So watch my form here. I'm just gonna go down into a squat, squat back up. Go down into a squat, squat back up. So just 2 reps is all you need to go there. If you didn't see anything wrong, odds are you're doing this wrong. Because the main thing that you want to avoid when you're going into a squat, and like I said, I've even heard of personal trainers telling their clients to do this, it is sticking your butt out. People think that when you go down into a squat and you get ready and you get into the stance, the first thing that you want to do is throw your hips back, keep them there, and then go down into the squat. And when you come up out of the squat, keep your butt back there because, I don't know, that's supposed to target your glutes better or something. I'm not sure what the real reasoning is behind it, because the only real, I guess, explanation could be to keep people from putting all the weight on the front of their foot, to keep people from going super heavy on the front and their heels coming up off the ground, which is going to cause way too much knee pain. That's the only thing I can see, because technically you're even supposed to keep the weight evenly distributed between the balls of your foot and the heel of your foot, but typically people find it a lot more difficult to keep their weight back simply because they don't have the mobility to be able to keep the back straight up and down while they go down and squat. The reasoning that you don't want to kick your butt out when you're going down into a squat, and I have 3. One is because the first thing that happens when you do stick your butt out, what happens when you just go from a neutral pelvis to an anterior tilt with your pelvis? That just means you're tilting your pelvis forward and sticking your butt out. Well, the muscles in my low back are automatically firing. And if my muscles in my low back are automatically firing at the top when I'm not even moving any weight yet, what do you think is going to be happening as I do move weight? They're going to be under constant stress throughout the entire exercise. And this is one of the reasons why, if you are going to the gym and you are squatting, and maybe you don't do this to the extent of sticking your butt way out there, but just a little bit, and then the next day your lower back is really sore, that could be because you are just constantly keeping those low back muscles under stress simply because you're basically contracting them a little bit by sticking your butt out. You always want to aim to keep your pelvis completely neutral. You want to keep it as straight up and down as possible. The second reason you want to do this is because when you're going down into a squat, if you have your butt way back here, it's very hard to get a good contraction of your glutes. The squat is a great exercise for your glutes and for your quads, but by keeping your butt out like that, it's very difficult to get that mind muscle connection with your glutes. And so as you squat down and squat back up, you're never really getting that lockout of your glutes. A good back squat should look like this, coming up and squeezing through your glutes, really focusing on getting that contraction with your glutes, getting them tucked under you and going into the next squat, coming up, squeezing through. That is going to really allow you to get the contraction of your glute muscles like you should be when you're doing a squat. And the third reason that you need to be doing this is because you are placing way too much stress on your hips as you do this type of a squat. There was a study done that when people do a restricted squat, meaning that their knees don't go past their toes, they placed a lot more, almost, it was like 1,000 times more stress on their hips, and only like, I think there was very minimal stress on their knees. Well, this is just kind of a way of doing that. If you are throwing your butt back, you're going to be having your hips way farther back than normal. Also, your upper body is going to be way more forward than normal, versus if it was tucked under you, you can keep your torso more upright, take a lot of the stress off your hips. It'll put a little more stress on your knees, but it's going to be a healthy amount of stress on your knees, a healthy amount of torque on your knees while taking that torque off of your hips. So you're going to basically start evenly distributing the torque on your joints, which is going to make the squat a lot more powerful, and you're gonna be able to move more weight and hopefully feel less pain in your low back or your hips if you're currently feeling that after you do a squat session. So the next time that you go to do squats, rather than sticking your butt out first and going down, squatting back up and keeping it out there because you heard that that's what you're supposed to do, I want you to start by squeezing your glutes, going down into a squat, driving your knees forward, keeping your back up as straight up and down as possible. Then at the top, really focus on squeezing your glutes out at the top, and that should make you feel the squeeze in your muscles that you should be feeling from a squat. So try this out. Let me know how you like it. Click that thumbs up button below if you do want to try this. Make sure you're commenting down below if you did try this and how it went for you. Maybe even some other leg exercise suggestions or just other muscle groups that you want to learn about. Comment them down in the comment section. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button as well. I got new content coming all the time for you guys. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.